your faithfulness, oh God. You wrestle with the sinner's heart. You lead us by still waters into mercy, and nothing can keep us apart. So remember your people, remember your children, remember your promise, oh God. Your grace is enough, your grace is enough, your grace is enough for me.
Good morning, Mr. Hidor. Oh, Jose, what brought you here? Mr. Hidor, can I ask for your favor? Can I stay here for you for a few days until I can find a modest boarding house?
If it's you, Jose, it's okay for me. You're welcome, Jose. By the way, how are you? I'm fine.
Good morning, Mr. Ross.
Come in, mister.
I'm Jose Rizal.
Oh, Mr. Rizal. Nice meeting you. Have a seat, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Nice meeting you too.
Mr. Rizal, what can I do for you?
Dr. Ross, I am here to expand my knowledge about everything, but I hear your library here has a copy of Morgan's Successors, an historical work about my country, Philippines, and I want to annotate it. I want to know everything about it.
Oh, yes. Of course, you can have that study here in my library. That's right, Jose. You're a pearl of a man, and I'm impressed with you. So, I recommend you to work here.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. It's a pleasure to me to work here.
The greatest achievement of Rizal in London was the annotating of Morga's book, Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, or Historical Events of the Philippine Islands, which was published in Mexico 1609. He spent many days in the reading room of the British Museum, poring over the pages of this book and laboriously reading the old histories of the Philippines, such as those written by Father Chirino, Father Colin, Father Argensola, Father Plasencia, and others. Of all written histories published during the early years of Spanish regime, that of Dr. Morga was, in his considered opinion, the best. In a letter to Blumentritt, dated September 17, 1888, Rizal said, "Morga's work is an excellent book. It can be said that Morga is a modern scholarly explorer. He does not have the superficiality and exaggeration which are found among Spaniards today. He writes very simply, but one has to read between the lines."
I want to give the result for a week and see some qualification that he can do. But very good. Yes, of course, you will know it. You will come.
Rizal, how are you?
I'm fine, my friend. What are the topics we are going to discuss?
Jose, this is all about the movement. This movement is a reform against Spain.
Jose, can you help us for our propaganda movement?
I promise, my friend, I will cooperate with you. Are they all here?
Yes!
Yes. Good morning, my friend. I have called you here today for an important matter.
And what is it? What are we going to discuss?
I have a proposal to make that we should have an association, and this will be called the La Solidaridad. And I appoint Dr. Jose Rizal for our honorary president. It's my pleasure.
In London, Rizal wrote the famous Letter to a Young Woman of Malolos in February 22, 1889 in Tagalog. He penned it upon the request of Marcelo H. del Pilar to praise the young ladies of Malolos for their courage to establish a school where they could learn Spanish despite the opposition of Father Felipe Garcia, Spanish parish priest of Malolos. The main points of this letter were: a Filipino mother should teach her children love of God, fatherland, and mankind. Number 2, the Filipino mother should be glad, like the Spartan mother, to offer her sons in defense of the fatherland. Number 3, a Filipino woman should know how to preserve her dignity and honor. Number 4, a Filipino woman should educate herself aside from retaining her good racial virtues. And number 5, faith is not merely reciting long prayers and wearing religious pictures, but rather it is living the real Christian way with good morals and good manners. Dr. Rost, editor of Trubner's Record, a journal devoted to Asian studies, requested Rizal to contribute some articles. In response to his request, the latter prepared 2 articles. Number 1, Specimen of Tagal Folklore, which was published in journal in May 1889 and Two Eastern Fables published in June 1889.
Bakman na.
Pepe,
What?
can you tell me something about yourself, your life, or anything that
The life is full of trials. I have many plans, but my own goal is to aim freedom to my country and to my countrymen against Spanish invaders. But for myself, I fun a lot of writing. I make some novels, books, and more poems.
Pepe, I heard a lot about your life, and I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing with me. Meanwhile, can we go for a meal? Because I'm hungry already.
Yes, why not?
Rizal, being a man of normal emotions, found exhilarating joy in Gertrude's company. Their friendship drifted towards romance. Rizal affectionately called her Getty. In reciprocation, she fondly called him Petty. As their filtration was fast approaching the point of no return, Rizal suddenly realized that he could not marry Getty, for he had a mission to fulfill in life. Paris, in the spring of 1889, was bursting with gaiety and excitement because of the Universal Exposition. Thousands of visitors from all corners of the world crowded every hotel, inn, and boarding house. Like any ordinary Filipino tourist in a foreign land, Rizal was fascinated by the Universal Exposition of Paris, which opened on May 6, 1889. The greatest attraction of this exposition was the Eiffel Tower, 984 feet high, which was built by Alexander Eiffel, celebrated French engineer. Rizal and his friends attended the opening ceremonies and saw the cutting of the ribbon by President Sadi Carnot of the Third French Republic. Paris was jammed with thousands of tourists coming from all parts of the world. Daily, the exposition drew a vast crowd of 200,000 persons or more.
Should be some. She's got blue eyes deep like the sea that roll back when she's laughing at me. She rises up like the tide the moment her lips meet mine. We may only have tonight, but till the morning sun, you're mine, all mine.
Sige na.
How are you?
I'm okay. So, how about you, Juan?
I'm okay.
So, we called you here because I want to organize a new movement, and this will be called the Kidlat Club.
Oh, what will be our objective?
So, this club is for the Filipino community here in Paris.
Oh, Rizal, that's right. We are agree for your plan.
To the Filipinos, In the Noli Me Tangere, I started to sketch the present state of our fatherland. The effect which my attempt produced made me realize, before proceeding to develop before your eyes other pictures to follow, the necessity of first giving an understanding to the past in order the better to judge the present and measure the path traversed during the 3 centuries. Born and reared in ignorance of our past, like almost all of you, without voice nor authority to speak of what we have not seen nor studied, I deemed it necessary to invoke the testimony of an illustrious Spaniard who controlled the destinies of the Philippines at the beginning of its new era and personally witnessed the last days of our ancient nationalities. It is, therefore, the shadow of our ancestors' civilization which the author now shall call before you. I transmit to you faithfully his words without changing them nor mutilating them, adapting only in so far as possible to modern orthography and introducing greater clearness in the rather defectiveness punctuations of the original to facilitate its reading. The office, the nationality, and the virtues of Morga, together with the date and testimonies of his contemporaries, Spaniard for the most part, commend the work to your serious consideration. If the book succeeds in awakening you, the consciousness of our past blotted from memory, and in rectifying what has been falsified and cumulated, then I shall not have labored in vain, and with this basis, slight though it be, we can all devote ourselves to the study of the future. Rizal's research studies in the British Museum in London and in Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris enriched his historical knowledge. His splendid annotations to Morga's book showed his familiarity with the basic principles of historiography. As he once told Isabella de los Reyes, a historian oath to be rigorously imparted. I never assert anything on my own authority. I cite texts, and when I do, I have them before me. On January 28, 1890, Rizal left Paris for Brussels, capital of Belgium. Two reasons impelled Rizal to leave Paris, namely, first, the cost of living in Paris was very high because of the Universal Exposition, and second, the gay social life of this city hampered his literary works, especially the writings of his second novel, El Filibusterismo.
Oh, Rizal, you're here. Come in and have a seat, please. Oh, Rizal, you're here for...
My friend Marcelo, I came here to seek help and justice for my family and to my fellow brothers.
I understand what you're feeling, Rizal. Come with me. We will go to a friend of mine. He can help us to reach the Minister of Colonies.
You hear me when I call. You are my more You are my sword and shield, though troubles linger still. Whom shall I...
How do you do, Mr. Brosted?
I'm fine, Rizal. How about your trip?
It's quite enjoyable.
I know who goes before me. I know who stands behind. The God of angel armies is always by my side. The one who reigns forever. He is a friend of mine. The God of angel armies is always by my side.
Oh, it's Oh, yes. Oh, here we are.
Oh, sir! How was your trip? Come in. Are you hungry? Adelia and Mel are here! Oh, nice to meet you, Jose.
Oh, Adelina, it's you. Nice to see you again.
How are you, Jose?
Much better now, Nelly. How about you? You've been grown since the last I saw you.
Oh, thanks. Come, Jose. You must be very hungry. Let's go. Eat.
Frustrated in romance, Rizal found consolation in writing. Evidently, while wooing Nelly and enjoying so many magnificent moonlight nights with her, he kept working on his second novel, which he began to write in Calamba in 1887. On March 29, 1891, the eve of his departure from Biarritz to Paris, he finished the manuscript of El Filibusterismo. Writing to Blumentritt on that date, he said, "I have finished my book. Oh no, I have not written in it my idea of revenge against my enemies, but only what is for the good of those who are suffering, for the rights of the Tagalog race, though brown and may not have good features. Surely I will leave tomorrow for Paris, and from there I don't know where I am going." In Brussels, Rizal worked day after day revising the finished manuscript of El Filibusterismo and readied it for printing. Apparently, the revision was mostly completed on May 30, 1891. On September 18, 1891, El Filibusterismo came off the press. Rizal, now a very happy man, immediately sent on this date 2 printed copies to Hong Kong, one for Basa and the other for Sixto Lopez. To his friend in Paris, Valentin Ventura, who generously loaned him the funds needed to finish the printing of the novel, Rizal gratefully donated the original manuscript and an autographed printed copy. He sent other complimentary copies to Blumentritt, Mariano Ponce, G. Lopez Haina, T.H. Pardo de Tavera, Antonio and Juan Luna, and other friends. The affection that I have ever professed for you suggests this step, and time alone can tell whether or not it is sensible. The outcome judges things according to the consequences, but whether the result will be favorable or unfavorable, it may always be said that duty urged me, so if I die in doing it, it will not matter. I realize how much suffering I have caused you, yet I do not regret what I have done. Rather, if I had to be given over again, I should do just the same, for what I have done has been only in pursuit of my duty. Gladly do I go to expose myself to peril, not as expiation of misdeeds, for in this matter I believe myself guiltless of any, but to complete my work and so that I, myself, may offer the examples of which I have always preached. A man ought to die for duty and his principles. I hold fast to every idea which I have advanced as to the condition and future of our country, and shall willingly die for it, and even more willingly to sacrifice all to secure justice and peace for you. With pleasure, then, I risk life to save so many innocent persons, so many nieces and nephews, so many children of friends, and children too of others who are not even friends, who are suffering on my account. What am I? A bachelor, practically without a family, and sufficiently undeceived as to life. I have had many disappointments, and the future before me is gloomy, and will be gloomy if light does not illuminate it with the dawn of a better day for my native land. On the other hand, there are many persons filled with hope and ambition who perhaps might be happier if I were dead. And then I hope my enemies would be satisfied and stop persecuting so many entirely innocent people. To a certain extent, their hatred is justifiable as to myself and my parents and relatives. Should faith go against me, you will all understand that I shall die happy in the thought that my death will end all your troubles. Return to our country and may you be happy in it. Till the last moment of my life, I shall be thinking of you and wishing you all good fortune and happiness.
My hands to believe again.
The objectives of La Liga Filipina. It is a civic league of Filipinos, which we desired to establish, and its role in socio-economic life of people.
And what is its constitution?
Its constitution, first, La Liga aims the following: to unite whole archipelago in one compact and homogeneous body. Second, mutual protection in every want and necessity. Third, to defend against all the violence and injustices. And fourth, to encourage of education, agriculture, and the last is study and application of reforms.
Uno, isa, umyo.
Light of the world, you step down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see beauty that made this heart adore you. Hope of a life spent with you. And here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
Oh, Father Sanchez. Welcome. This is Jose Rizal, my favorite student. So, you have already met Father Sanchez. Where do you two meet?
She's my favorite teacher in Ateneo de Manila.
Oh, Father Sanchez, I have tried persuading Jose Rizal to roll back in Catholicism. Then, I can persuade you. Will you help me with this?
Yes, Father.
But Rizal, how come come that you have forsaken Catholicism?
Individual judgment is a gift from God, but they should use it like a lantern to shade the way, and that's self-esteem. If moderated by judgment, save minds from us. Truth may lie in different paths, but religions may vary, but they all lead to the light.
You know what, Rizal? Divine faith supersedes everything, including reason, self-esteem, and individual judgment. No matter how wise a man is, his intelligence is limited. Therefore, he needs the guidance.
Father, could you arrange a marriage between me and Josephine Bracken? Because I love her. I want to marry her.
I'm sorry, Rizal. Only the Archbishop can decide that. Because you first must go back to Catholicism.
If it's so, I will proclaim that Josephine is my wife without any ceremonies.
Good morning, my friend. You're all gathered here. And I appoint Dr. Jose Rizal.
Dali na!
Pasakin yung mga lakad, eh. Relax lang.
I'm fine with it. Turn up.
Whatever comes my way, I rejoice.